Welcome to KillieFC TV. Again, we've got Dylan Kerr, one of the 97 heroes from 20 years ago here. Dylan played 5 out of 6 games in the Cup run and was substituting the first game against East Stirling.
Shocking decision.
Well, you can argue that with a
shocking decision, and I still remember banging on the gaffer's door the next day, on Monday morning when we came into training, and asked him why. And to be fair, he had a fair point. So, but
they won, so it couldn't have been that bad.
They won. Big McGowan, top corner.
That's right. Your memories of the '97 Cup final run, just in general, without talking so much about the final just now, Dylan.
I think what epitomised everybody's attitude at the club at the time, and okay, we got the penalty. Some people say it wasn't a penalty. Bunyan will definitely say it was a penalty against Clyde, and that kind of, I think that was the pinnacle of where we could go that year. And at Morton, when we played at Morton, that was just a performance that came out of all our hard work and all our graft in the training, and it showed that day on the pitch with individual players peaking, and as a team we all just hit the ground running from the kick-off right until the final whistle, because it was a tough game.
The semi-final was a war of attrition against Dundee United. Both games were. Were you confident going into those games?
Personally, I'd say we were confident as a team every game that we played. Obviously, some results didn't go for us, but we knew that we had a work ethic and we had a belief in our squad that we could go out there and perform. Every player had an individual role, but we all worked within a team. And when we played the first game, we felt that we should have won, and even in the second game, they had their chances. Drago made a couple of good saves, so did Seb for United, but we kept going. We never gave up, and I think that's what got us through in the end, because we had that attitude that it meant something to get to that final. Because I didn't know the history of Kilmarnock at the time. It had been so long since they last won the Scottish Cup, and afterwards when we were in the dressing room, it hit a lot of players that we'd made the final, albeit it wasn't at Hampden, it was at Ibrox. But even if it were at Park Academy, and it were a cup final, you'd play anyway.
The following nights at Celtic and the Falkirk played their replay. Did you have your Falkirk scarf on that night?
To be fair, it was watching it, I remember, I think it was a very, very rainy day and the pitch was heavy, and you actually fancied Falkirk. You always fancy your chances against Celtic and Rangers, because they automatically think they're going to win. And Falkirk did what they had to do. They probably saw what was the big carrot at the end of the stick, Scottish Cup final, and a lot of players probably never played in one, and would probably never played one in another final. So they wanted it, I think, more than Celtic, and they thoroughly deserved it.
The last league game was a week before, or 2 weeks before the final. Must have been a major relief to secure your Premier League status.
It was. I mean, our focus was to stay in the Premier League. The cup final was a bonus, and I'm not just saying that because it's the usual football term, but our intention was to make sure that we secured our Premier League status, because we worked hard to get that. I had an Achilles injury at the time, and maybe people think that when you're injured and it's giving you so much pain and trouble, you shouldn't play. But I wanted to keep us up. I wanted to be in that dressing room on that final day of the season and not worry about the cup final. That week before the cup final, we went down to Turnberry, and everybody played golf, and we went on some of us went on walks. I couldn't do either because I couldn't, my Achilles was really, really bad. But I was focused to prepare myself and get ready for that cup final day at Ibrox.
When they run up to the cup final, did Bobby do anything different that week with you? Do you remember anything standing out? You're saying you're away playing golf?
No, he just wanted us to be relaxed. He wanted us to be as we were, as a group, together. We all went, as a player, we all socialised together. We all went out to restaurants together. We did everything as a team. There were no individuals in that squad at the time, and we went down to Seymour, and Bobby just said, you know, you can go out, do whatever you want, but enjoy yourselves. That's all I want you to do. But you know, respect the club, behave yourselves, and that's what we did. We all responded to how he treated us, and it was like mature professionals, and we had the respect to show him that we could be that.
Did the team feel extra pressure because you were now the favourites against Falkirk?
I think in the cup finals there's actually no. Yes, we were favourites because we were Premiership. We were the Premiership team, but in the cup final, as a football fan, I always used to watch it and think, oh, they're the underdog. There's no underdogs or favourites in the final. It's on the day who has the luck, who gets the break with the decisions, but it's the team that works the hardest, that wants it more, they get the breaks. And in football, you create your own luck, and that's by hard work and energy, enthusiasm and effort.
The day of the game, seeing Alex Totten in the opposition dugout, did you find that quite strange? Because Tots obviously signed you for Kilmarnock. To
be fair, it was, because I thought he looked brilliant in his kilt. Obviously that was kind of my first taster of a Scottish Cup final, and Alex did sign me. You know, Bobby invited me up through a friend of his down in Yorkshire, and I actually, you know, was one of the second. Well, I was probably the second person behind Paul Wright to go up and shake Alex Totten's hand, and I said to him thank you, because he gave me the opportunity to play at this magnificent club and to achieve what I did do. You know, and to be honest, I'm proud that I took the chance to come to Scotland and join a fantastic club as Kilmarnock. And I'm not just saying that because of the occasion. You know, that's something I've always felt proud of. And to this day, 20 years on, I'm still here. I'm watching the game against Inverness Caley Thistle. They've won, they're safe, and I'm delighted, like many of the other Kelly fans, because that's what I am, a Kelly fan.
Day of the game, how did you feel personally? Was it nervousness, confident, or
I felt the most. I don't think anybody could have taken the excitement and the atmosphere as much, and everybody's got their own memory of it. But I'd come out of a bad career at Reading towards the end of my career with an injury. I was told that I was actually told by the specialist that I'd be very, very lucky to play professional football again, but I had that drive and that desire and that hunger to prove to myself and to Reading Football Club at the time, who just kicked me out basically, injured, that I could take the main stage again as a professional footballer. So, and as well as that, all my family, I think I sold 75 tickets to all my family members, and I think that the only comps I got was from my mum, my brother, and his daughter, and unfortunately they missed the celebrations on John Finney Street because nobody told me about that. You know, I was gutted. You know, that's the only thing that I was gutted about on a personal level. I didn't know. I would have loved my family to experience that, because there's nobody, and I've been at Reading and I've been at Leeds United. They've got many, many more fans at these clubs, but I tell you what, credit to Kilmarnock that day on that John Finney Street. All the way down, not just John Finney Street, all the way through Kilmarnock. But when you hit John Finney Street, that just sealed it off. For me, that made all that fight, that effort, that hard work of 18 months of being out the game to come back and do it at a proud football club. That was, you know, enough for me.
What was your biggest memory of the actual game itself? And did the game fly past for you, or can you remember everything about it? Or?
Well, I mean, I actually made my debut against wee Jinky. Is it Jinky? What was he? The McAllister.
Kevin McAllister.
Yeah. What did they call him? What was his nickname?
Crunchy.
Crunchy. Sorry, Kev. I actually made my debut at Chelsea versus Leeds, and wee Crunchy was the right winger at Chelsea at the time. And am I right on that one? I'm sure he was there.
I think Kevin McAllister played.
I think it was, and if I'm wrong, I do apologise. Memory's going back, by the way, guys. And I knew it was tricky. I knew I'd got a hard job against him, and I'd had a tough season that year because, unknown to me, Scottish football had top quality, and I learned a hell of a lot as a player. And the game, you haven't got that. You haven't got the multimedia that they've got nowadays. So all you've got to look forward to is watching on YouTube, or somebody posts a clip on Twitter. And I haven't actually seen the whole game yet in full. And I think for me personally, the defining moment was obviously Paul Wright's winner. If anybody who wanted to score a winning goal in the cup final, well, Paul Wright, because his status at this club and in football, it was fantastic. And you know, you couldn't have wished a better person to score that. But if you look at the team, and I'm not going to name everyone individually because everybody knows who they are, they put that shirt on that day to win that Scottish Cup. Doesn't matter if they played Celtic, Rangers, Motherwell, Cowan&Beath, Falkirk as we did in the final. We wanted that so much, and it was tough. Believe me, it was tough because they give it all the give. And Andy Gray, you know, he deserved that man of the match because he ran his heart and soul out. But we had 11 players, sorry, tell it live, 14 players that ran the heart and soul out, and that's what was that cup that day.
When the linesman's flag went up for offside, did you then start believing it could be your day?
Well, believe it or not, he was offside. I think the linesman got it spot on.
Thoughts might disagree with you.
Well, there's a lot of Falkirk fans that do disagree with me, but I think, you know, again, it's the luck. You know, that's what you need in football to win cup finals, to win leagues. You need the luck, and we got it on that day. And again, it comes because you've worked hard to get yourself in a position, 1-0 up. Of course we're going to be under pressure. We had our counter-attacks, and you know, we ended up in the second half. You know, we could have had 3 or 4 more chances, 4 more goals if we'd have taken the chances. Didn't happen, but we made sure we defended solidly as a back 4. We worked hard as a midfield 4, and as 2 strikers did the job.
Final whistle. What was your overriding feeling?
I was looking for my mum in the stand because she very rarely comes to football matches, and I couldn't see them. I didn't know where the tickets were for them, but me and Gary Holt we grabbed each other and just, you know, it was just, he's got his background, he's got his career highlights. I've come from a different era, different generation of football. It brought us together. It brought the team together. We celebrated that day, celebrated that weekend, celebrated that week. I'm still celebrating 20 years on, you know, because I can come into Kilmarnock Football Club, and not only do everybody recognises who I am, I actually recognise everybody that I meet, and I think that's a credit to the town of Kilmarnock.
Maybe not so much affect you, maybe this is more of a question for the Scottish players. Ibrox was a venue that day, but do you wish the game had been at Hampden?
Yes, you always wish. I mean, a couple of years before that, I had a chance to play at Wembley. Your boyhood dream is to play at Wembley. The same, you know, when you're in Scotland, whichever country you are, you want to play at the National Stadium. But hey ho, you know, Ibrox, Celtic Park, you know, it didn't matter. As long as the fans came and the fans enjoyed it, we enjoyed it. On that bus, we had the songs blasting on that bus up to Ibrox. We had the songs in the dressing room. We had the banter. We had everything that day. So Hampden, Ibrox, it didn't matter.
So the trip back to Killie and the bus was a party in full flow, and you obviously had no idea the reception was waiting for you. I
didn't, because obviously, you know, cup finals or promotions, they usually have the day after celebrations, because everything's organised, everything's nice, and I think the way that they did it, I thought they did it perfect. I mean, it was Jim McIntyre and Derek Anderson. They were brilliant on that bus. You know, they were like little kids. You know, all the sensible ones at the front. Monty keeping us all in line. Drago, nobody understanding a word he was saying, but the smile. Drago never used to smile, but the smile on his face. You know, Gus McPherson never smiles. Never. I don't think he's smiling now. Are you, Gus? we just enjoyed it, and like I said, once we got to the top at Kilmarnock, when we came off the M77, was it the A77? Yeah, we came off that, and I just didn't expect that, you know, and it was just it's something in my memory that will never go. But I haven't got a selfie stick, I haven't got a video camera, I haven't got, you know, an iPhone or anything like that. You know, all I've got is up here in my memory, and every day when I come to Kilmarnock, it's all there. At the club, in the town, there's a picture to remind you of that day. And I said, John Finney Street, wow.
So that is your best memory, your favourite memory from the day when you turn into the bottom of John Finney Street and you see a wall of people.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I did not expect that. I really didn't. And I tell you what, I've done it at Reading, I've done it with Blackpool, and they got promoted Sheffield Wednesday, and I've done it at Leeds United. That John Finney Street was just unbeatable. And credit to you guys, the supporters, for making that an enjoyable occasion for me personally. And
finally, we're a week away from the dance, believe it or not, so we're looking forward to meeting up a lot with your old teammates next Saturday.
Yeah, there'll be a few coming in with Zimmer frames. I mean, I hope we've got a box for Mark Riley to stand on and wee bully, because they're still not grown, they're still, you know, little midgets. It's a shame that the two young lads are in America, Bucky and Beggy, and unfortunately I believe Drago can't come. Hi Drago. And it's good to see them. Obviously I see Gary Holt and Gus McPherson, and I speak to Mark Riley and Paul Wright, Jim McIntyre, I speak to them regular, Kevin McGowan now on Facebook. So you do keep in touch with people, but to actually see them, I haven't seen Bully since probably I left. Right. So I haven't seen Bully, I haven't seen Tam Brown, so yeah, it's going to be a great occasion for all involved. And it's credit to the people as well. By the way, a lot of people have done a lot of work for this course, especially this big guy here, who's been bugging the pants off me about it and constantly reminding me, have you got this? Can you come? Can you speak to them? And I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think the night's going to be a great occasion, and I think a lot of people are going to look back at this and remember 20 years.
Dylan, it's been a pleasure as always. Thanks very much, man.
Big man.
Cheers.
Always a pleasure.